eating and drinking together. Jesus Christ was accused by his enemies of spending too much of his time eating and drinking. The Son of Man is come eating and drinking, and ye say, Behold, a gluttonous man, and a winebibber, a friend of publicans and sinners. But wisdom is justified of all her children. Luke chapter 7, 34 to 35. Interestingly, Jesus did not deny the accusation, but said that it was wise to spend much time eating and drinking with others. Jesus understood that the best way to build relationships with others is by eating together. We Asians know this. Since most fundamental churches have a formal and restrictive atmosphere, most members leave the church after the service ends as they cannot have a relaxed family meal anywhere in the church premises. Therefore, there is little interaction among members, resulting in a weak family spirit. I am thankful that almost from the start of our church, we did our best to have snacks and coffee after each meeting, so that every member would stay back to fellowship with one another. I guess it stemmed from the fact that I came from a closely knit family where meal times were precious times of bonding, learning, and love. One of the things that struck me when I first came to the Philippines as a teenager was their strong family bonds and the value that Filipinos placed on having family meals together. Years later, when I returned to the Philippines as a pastor, I was shocked to see that their church culture was so different from Filipino culture. It was as if the church culture was an import from another different, more individualistic culture. It is interesting to note that the GLCC Filipino congregation started as a food fellowship. At the time when Gospelite Christian Church started, Filipinos were beginning to come to Singapore to work as domestic helpers. When my wife and her friends realized that there were many Filipinos relaxing in the Singapore Botanical Gardens on Sundays, they decided to buy snacks and Coke and invite the Filipinas to join them for food fellowship. In a few weeks, the group grew to about 40 each Sunday afternoon, and I was invited to start preaching to them. Today, the Filipino Ministry is a thriving ministry that continues to reach the Filipino community in Singapore. Thousands have been led to the Lord, hundreds have been baptized, many have gone to Bible school, and are now serving the Lord in full-time ministries. The Filipino Ministry continues to cook and serve food for 150 Filipinos on a busy street of Singapore each Sunday. They also cook lunch at church for about 100 Filipinos each Sunday. I have often told my members that the church cook is almost as important as the preacher to them because they need good food to help them bond together as much as they need good spiritual food to grow spiritually. I also tell them that the cook is more important than the preacher to unsaved newcomers because newcomers may not understand the preaching, but will surely appreciate the food, love, and friendship around the meal. Today, Gospelite Christian Church serves about 1,500 meals every Sunday. We have invested in a top-class industrial standard kitchen to produce good meals each Sunday because we believe in the importance of eating and drinking together. Every Sunday, beginning at 4 a.m. in the morning, about 20 volunteers prepare meals for the congregation. Different menus, Singaporean, Chinese, Western, Indian, Filipino, and Indonesian, are prepared for the different ethnic groups in our church so that many will be led to stay around to fellowship. Since GLCC is a spiritual family that gathers every Sunday to honor our Father, everyone is invited to eat together. Because we are a family, all the cooks and helpers joyfully volunteer their service to cook for their family. Because it is a family meal, no one is forced to pay anything for their meals. An offering box is placed in the dining hall, and those who have the means give their offerings to pay for the cost of ingredients. Because of God's grace, the offerings are always more than sufficient for pay for the meals and cover for those less fortunate members of a church who need a good meal and are unable to pay. The extra amount of money, which is a surprisingly huge amount of money, is given to missions. Though good food is a blessing, I believe that even simple food eaten together as a family is a very important part of family life, especially the Christian life. Church members will need to eat after worship service anyway, so instead of giving their money to someone else for their food, why not use that money to eat together and bless those who do not have enough money to eat well? Furthermore, church members who do not have teaching or singing skills can serve as kitchen helpers and cooks and band together around a simple kitchen. Many newcomers will quickly find friends and family as they serve together in the kitchen. I believe that the food ministry has greatly contributed to the unity and the growth of GLCC. It has also given us opportunities to disciple younger believers and help us to reach out to newcomers. I also believe that our eating and drinking together helped us to overcome much of the critical and divisive spirit that I created through my early ministry as a fighting fundamentalist. God is our Father. A church is a family of brothers and sisters, and newcomers are guests to our family gathering. Therefore, we should all be having family meals together. The early church worshipped and ate their meals together, and they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship and in breaking of bread and in prayer. Acts chapter 2, verse 42. Jesus described true fellowship as having a meal with us. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him, and I will sup with him, and he with me. Revelation chapter 3, verse 20. All of God's children will enjoy true Christian fellowship with God forever around a great meal. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried out with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, Come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God. Revelation chapter 19, verse 17. So why don't we begin fellowship, bonding, learning, and discipling around a meal every Sunday? Why don't we do that?